All right, welcome to the channel, everyone. This channel is Jay Wheelie. This is the Civ Rocket, a 1996 Civic hatchback D16Y7 single cam non-VTEC rocket, but it hasn't started yet. Anyways, today I'm going to show you the prices of everything on this Civic and how much I paid for it. So I see a lot of these videos on YouTube of people saying, turboing my Civic for $300, turboing my Civic for $200, turboing my Civic for $500. And the reality is that's just not true. Now, in Canada, where I am, parts are more expensive to ship here, and therefore everything is about a third more expensive than the States, plus shipping. So everything I have included is the price of the parts, plus the shipping, plus conversion, plus everything. On my credit card statement, these are the prices. So it's not, I'm not swooning you here. I'm not saying, oh, look at how cheap this was, or look at how expensive this was. I'm telling you the actual price that I paid. No bullshit. Okay? That being said, let's get to it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is show you the item on the list here, and then I'm going to show you the actual item so you know what it looks like and you have a good idea. If you're going to turbo your Civic, you can see what the quality of the piece is like. So starting number one, the car, obviously you can see it, is $795, and at ICBC it cost me $95 to ship it here. Another thing I forgot to mention is that this shipping column here, originally I was going to put the shipping prices there, but then I realized on my credit card statement, all of the shipping prices were included on my credit card statement, so it'd be hard for me to separate it. So all the prices you see in the price column are the actual price, plus shipping, plus conversion, plus GST, plus all that. That's what it cost me to buy that part and get it shipped here to my door, and me opening it up that's the price I paid. So $795 for the car, and then $95 ICBC, which is the insurance and registration governmental thing in British Columbia. So $95, so you can see that, obviously. Oil, when we bought the car, was $20. JB, well, yeah, you can't see that oil. Actually, if you wanted to see that oil, it's right here. Next would be the JB Weld High Heat. I think you guys know what JB Weld looks like. We'll just skip that one. Brake fluid is in the car. Valve cover gasket is right here. It's this blue one, if you can see there. Y8 240cc injectors. So those are from the VTEC Civic SI or the Civic HX, I believe. Or EX. Maybe it's the Civic EX. I don't really know. But the stock ones are 190cc and these ones are 240. So they give you a little bump there. Next is the T3 T4 0.63 AR turbo. So that puppy is right here. Right there. $221. Now we're getting into the good stuff, with the turbo being the first one. So T3 T4 cast manifold, $121. That's what it looks like right there. The Mamba blow-off valve. So this one, I can't remember how much I paid. I bought it for the Legacy. It ended up not working with the Legacy, so I just had it sitting here. I know I could have got one cheaper than $100 on eBay, but the thing was I had this blow-off valve already, so I paid something like $80 to $120 for this thing. So I just put $100 in there, and this is what it looks like. The nice V-band. It's actually a sick-looking little blow-off valve. Big blow-off valve. Don't mind my JB welded intercooler pipe there. Next is the oil feed and drain line. So you can see the oil feed line right here. And the drain line came in the same kit, and that's the drain line plus the two bungs. Or not the bungs, but the kind of connector things that go to the bungs on the bottom of the turbo and the bottom of the side of the, I always forget the name of that. What's it called? The oil pan. Next, oil filter sandwich. Or oil filter sandwich, if you're like me. Let's go to this side over here. Move this stuff over. Okay. Oil filter sandwich. Hard to see. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's right down in there. If you follow the oil feed line, it goes right in between. If you see the white oil filter in there, it's sandwiched in between there and the block. Next is the oil pan drain bung. So that is obviously on the oil pan, which is right here actually now. So that is a screw-on bung, and that thing was $15. Next is the 38mm wastegate from Amazon. Now, I was looking for wastegates. The cheapest I could find for a few days was about $100 on eBay. And then I lucked out and found this one on Amazon for $69. So, pretty sweet. Hopefully it does the job. It gave me a few metal splinters when I took it out of the box, so that wasn't good. But other than that, put some gloves on, install this thing, and it should be good to go. Boost gauge, 16 bucklows. This one excited me because it came in a nice little box right here. It looked pretty fancy, and I do have it zip tied on there, so just don't mind that. But it looks really good, actually. Looks nice. Next, we have the downpipe for $151. Now, I was thinking about this morning. This downpipe, I paid $150 for. Originally, I had one written down. I had this list here. So, this is my first turbo build. I had no idea what to buy for a turbo build, where I was going to get it, how much. I was so overwhelmed and confused that I just wanted to buy a kit. So I was looking at CX Racing, I was looking at eBay kits. It turns out with all the kits, you still need to buy other stuff anyways. So I didn't get a kit, and I probably saved close to $1,000 doing it that way and just pieced everything together. So the story on that was, what was I talking about? The downpipe. Yeah, the downpipe, I had one written down for, oh, sorry, back to this thing. So this is my little sheet that I just started off with. I just would write down a thing I found on eBay. So the first one was the turbo. I found the cheapest turbo I could find. And if I found a cheaper one, I would scratch it out like you've seen down here and write the new one in. It's got price, it's got shipping, and the import fees. So that's the story on this little sheet on the right-hand side here. Anyways, the downpipe, I was looking at one for $250. It would have been on this side because the downpipe I bought is meant for this side. The thing is, I was reading reviews and everything. Any eBay downpipe you buy, you pretty much have to hack it and then extend it or tweak it a bit, change the angle or anything. So I bought the cheapest one I could because I knew I'd have to cut it. So I've already made 2 cuts on it. I welded one back on. It's a scary weld job, so don't judge me for that. However, if I could have just bought, which I looked on eBay this morning, and you can for about $50, I think, you can buy just the 5-bolt downpipe flange and then buy some 3-inch piping. I was at the junkyard today, and I bought this truck exhaust off of a Chevy or a GMC 1500. And this is a 2.5-inch to 3-inch over here. So if you find some 3-inch pipe, then you can make your own downpipe and then just weld in a little bung. Oh! Oh! Oh my God. You gotta relax, dude. That freaking hurt. Anyway, what I was saying is you can weld up your own downpipe if you know how to weld and you have a welder. And if not, maybe an e-buy downpipe is the thing to do for you. Anyways, back to the list. 28-inch intercooler plus piping was $218. This intercooler kit, now, I think this is a good deal because, I'll give you a better angle here. The intercooler kits I found before were around $300 with shipping, and they were the ones that, they're 2.5-inch piping on one side of the intercooler, and on the other side of the intercooler, they're only 2-inch piping. This one's full 2.5-inch for $218, and I think it looks pretty good, and it installed pretty well, too. The thing I like, too, is they give you 2 90s, 2 45s, 2 straight ones, and 2, I don't even know what other angle, something, 22.5 or something degree. So, cool kit. You can pretty much do anything you want here. So I have straight pipe here, obviously, and then this one looks like a 45. This one looks like the 22.5 there, and then on this one I used the 90 going to the turbo, and it's pretty sweet. It's a nice short path to the throttle body as well, so it should force that air in there pretty quickly. Oh, I was also going to say $218 isn't cheap, but for intercooler prices, even compared to eBay prices, this one's pretty cheap, and compared to, say, something like a Mishimoto, this thing is really cheap, so that's good. Next, we are on to the downpipe bolts. So these were $2 from Home Depot. Nothing crazy there. AFR gauge and sensor, or the AFR gauge, hello, is here. So this is a glow shift gauge. Got it Kijiji secondhand, and it's awesome. I actually really like it. Now onto the step drill bits. Those were to drill the hole for the oil pan. And oh yeah, the other one's right there. Good. For the oil pan bung. Vacuum T, that thing is right here. That is for the blow-off valve to tee into like the fuel pressure regulator hose or something, just like that one is. That's the boost gauge hooked up there. Next we are on to the 3-inch exhaust connector. That's just inside there. It's basically a 3-inch diameter pipe. Yeah, sure. Whoa, that was quick.
I know.
There we go. So that's all it is. So 3-inch inner diameter. It allows 2 pipes to slide in, or 1 pipe to slide in from either side. Total 2 pipes. That was $8. Welder wire was $19. And the truck exhaust I got today, which I showed you guys already, was $39. So I'm going to calculate this up, and then we'll see what it all cost. And, things that aren't on the list yet are things that I don't physically have yet. So one of them is the oil pan gasket. That one's being shipped in, and the reducer. So the oil pan gasket was roughly $20, I think. And the reducer was less than 10. We'll see how much. It'd probably be around 10 with shipping and everything. So we're going to add up the price of this, the stuff I have, because this video is how much has the Civic cost me thus far, because it's going to cost me more. There's going to be more stuff that goes into it. At this point, we'll see. All right, so when I calculated the first time there, it didn't seem right. So I did it again. It turns out it's $2,168. So let's write that on there. All right, good to know, because I haven't even had a total count yet of what I've spent on this thing. $2,168 for all the parts that are here, that are on or near the car, not being shipped here. I have 2 parts shipped here, like I said, 2 low-cost parts. But this is a true cost of what this thing has cost me so far. So with the 2 other parts, like I said, one's about 20 bucks. We'll say 30 to be safe. So if one's 30 and the other one's 10, 40 bucks on in there, we're up to $2,208. So $2,200 for a turbo Civic? Not bad. Honestly, I thought I was going to do it for a little bit cheaper. No, actually I didn't. My first run through on price with everything included was about $1,550. This price right here plus 5% GST says $1,359. But it was about $1,550. The CX Racing kit was like $1,800 plus shipping to Canada was like $2,100. So compared to other cheap kits, it's not a bad price. So yeah, so the car and ICBC was $800. We'll say $900, $795 and $95. $900, and then $2,200 now, so $1,300 in turbo parts. It's quite a bit, for me at least, because I don't like to put money into cars because you never get money out of cars. So normally I don't do it, but this is a learning experience. I said it in a previous video, but the reason I got this is to learn exactly how turbos work and everything. I've owned turbo vehicles before. This one's mine as well, the Legacy GT. But like I said in the other video, you don't learn all this stuff from just driving a turbo vehicle or looking at forums and stuff. When you physically install all this stuff, you learn how it works real good. So anyway, this video was, I was gonna say short and sweet, but it hasn't been short. It's a decently long video. Anything else I want to say here? One more thing I wanted to say was thank you for everybody who's given me parts or supported the build by just giving old scrap stuff. So Jared, thank you for the exhaust piping. He's given me a few pieces. This one was from him too. So was that one actually. Vacuum lines, I had these already, but this one Jared gave me as well, which fit perfectly from my wastegate to my turbo. And if I'm forgetting anybody else that gave me anything, thank you. I appreciate you guys. So I do have quite a few videos in the Turbo Civic series already. And same with the price here, the price video I'm doing. I'm realistic about everything I do to work on it. So if something took really long, took me 3 hours to do, I'll tell you guys that it took me 3 hours. And I'll give you a tip so that when you do it, it doesn't take you 3 hours and you can do it in half an hour, whatever that may be. So an example of that would be when I cut and welded this downpipe. It honestly took me like 3 hours to do, and I let the people know in the video that. So plenty of videos in this series that have a lot of information, and a lot of it is me learning too. So definitely check out the rest of the videos in the series, how to turbo a Honda Civic. So I hope this video has given you a realistic representation of what it costs to turbo a car, especially a Honda Civic or something cheap. And yeah, I didn't try to be realistic, I just was realistic. I didn't, like, this isn't any clickbaity title or anything saying I turboed it for 300 bucks. This is the actual cost, which was, again, $2,168. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.